All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are going to break down how you can stop being controlled by your own mind and actually start building your own mental state piece by piece. You know that feeling, don't you? That sense that your mind is this incredible, powerful tool that can do just about anything. It feels like pure potential. But here's the twist. Most of the time, the roles are completely flipped. It's not your tool. You're actually its puppet. And the reason it has so much control is because it's constantly feeding you stories, assumptions, worst-case scenarios, and they feel so real. So you just believe them, no questions asked. And that is the core problem we're gonna unpack. So let's talk about that default mode, when you're not paying attention, who or what is actually running the show up there. This is what's so wild. We all walk around with this perception, this feeling that I'm in control. But if we're being really honest with ourselves, the reality is, it's our unconscious habits, our knee-jerk emotional reactions, and all that programming from our past that's really pulling the strings. So here's a super important point. When we talk about control, we don't mean fighting your thoughts. That is a battle you will lose every single time. The more you try to suppress a thought, the bigger it gets. Real control is about awareness, actually seeing the thought for what it is, and then just gently redirecting your focus. So if control comes from awareness, how in the world do we build it? Well, that brings us to the next part, where we're gonna lay down the foundation, the very first steps to taking back the reins. This right here, this is the fundamental shift that changes the entire game. You are not the chaotic storm of thoughts that passes through your head. You're the sky that holds the storm. You are the one who is simply watching them come and go. And this is how it works in practice. It's simple. Imagine you're just sitting in a movie theater. A thought pops up on the screen. What do? You don't jump out of your seat and start fighting the characters, right? No, you just watch it. You observe. And just like a scene in a movie, eventually it fades away. Now this might just be the most practical tool you'll ever get. The moment you feel that rush of emotion, that automatic reaction bubbling up, you just insert a pause. That's it. Just 1 second, one deep breath. And in that tiny little gap, that's where you find your freedom. That pause makes all the difference. It's the difference between a default reaction and a conscious response. A reaction is instant, it's blind, it's totally automatic. But a response is considered, it's aware, it is chosen. That 1 second pause gives you the power to choose. Okay, so you've learned to create a little bit of space by observing and pausing. Now what? Well, how do we start actively building a better mental environment? Let's get into the architecture of it all. Think of your mind like a computer. Seriously, it's only as good as the software you install. And that software is its input. What are you feeding it all day long? The doom scrolling on social media, the people you hang out with, the news you watch, the music you listen to. If the input is garbage, the output is going to be garbage. It's really that simple. If you want to change your mind, you have to start by changing what you feed it. So what do you do when one of those pesky negative thoughts slips through anyway? Remember, you don't fight it, you challenge it. You hit it with one simple but incredibly powerful question. Is this true? Your brain loves drama. It loves to exaggerate and spin up these crazy worst-case scenarios. This one question just cuts right through all of that noise. And after you question it, you reframe it. So instead of a thought like, I'm going to fail, you consciously change it to, I'm gonna learn. This isn't just, toxic positivity. It's a real shift from a rigid, fear-based way of thinking to one that's all about growth. You are literally rewriting the code of your thoughts to change your reality. Okay, this is a huge one, a mantra for mastering your emotions. Emotions are just signals, they're data. Anger might be telling you that a boundary has been crossed. Fear might be telling you to get prepared. They're not commands. You can feel an intense emotion without having to obey it. You feel it, you try to understand it, and then you decide on the action. And always remember this, where your attention goes, your energy flows. It's a law of nature. If you spend all day focused on your problems, guess what? Your problems get bigger. But if you focus on finding solutions, your ability to find solutions gets stronger. Your attention is your most precious resource. Use it wisely. Okay, time for our last section. We've got the tools, but how do we make this stuff stick? How do we make conscious control our new automatic setting? Look, this is not an overnight fix. It's a practice. It's like going to the gym for your mind. You start with small things every single day, pausing, questioning a thought, reframing it. Over a few weeks, that repetition literally starts to build new pathways in your brain. And after a few months, those new pathways, they become the default. That is how you make control feel easy and natural. And this is a key to real mental freedom. So much of our anxiety and stress comes from obsessing over the result. What if it doesn't work out? What if I fail? But you can't control the outcome. You just can't. You can only control your actions in this moment. So let go of the result. Detach from it. Pour all of your energy into the process itself. That's how you get rid of the pressure and find some real clarity. So let's boil it all down. This is your new process. A thought pops up, step 1. Step 2, you don't react, you pause. Step 3, you ask it, is this true? Step 4, you just watch it for a second, no judgment. And only then, step 5, you consciously decide what you're going to do next. That's it. That is your new algorithm for mental sovereignty. And ultimately, that's what this is all about. This is the core idea. So many people just live their lives on autopilot, letting their random thoughts and fleeting emotions dictate every action. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can learn to observe. You can learn to